Hi, my name is Neres, and welcome to my Mage Guide. I will be providing an in-depth Fire Mage guide covering consumables, stat priority, rotation, enchanting, runes, talents, best race options, and some cool tips and tricks to improve your gameplay. Fire Mage Spec. Fire deals the highest amount of damage out of the other mage specs, with the only caveat being it's very mana intensive. The level cap is also only 40, meaning you have just enough points to reach the bottom of your tree, but not enough to put more points into another tree. The first 5 points into Improved Fireball will simply reduce the cast time of Fireball by a half a second. The next 5 points into Ignite is absolutely mandatory, as this is one of the main mechanics of a Fire Mage. This makes your crits from your fire damage cause the target to burn for an additional 40% of your spell's damage over 4 seconds. Pyroblast is your next talent and vital to your build, as you'll be looking to cast Pyroblast whenever you get a hot streak, as well as precasting if the boss allows. Burning Soul is nice since it gives you a 70% chance to not lose casting time whenever you take damage, and also reduces the threat caused by your fire spells by 30%. The 2 points invested in Incinerate are essential for maximizing damage output. Additionally, allocating 1 point into flame throwing for extended range can greatly enhance your effectiveness, particularly in situations where engaging bosses from longer distances is advantageous. Personally, I find this additional range valuable for maintaining DPS on distant targets. Incinerate increases the crit strike of your Fire Blast and Scorch by 4%. Speaking of Scorch, the next 3 points go into Improved Scorch, which will make it so whenever you Scorch it will apply a debuff on the boss, making it take a total of 15% increased fire damage. The 3 points into Master of Elements makes it so, when you crit, you get 30% of the base mana cost back. The 3 points into Critical Mass will simply increase the crit of all your fire spells by 6%. Firepower will increase all of your fire damage by 10%. Lastly, Combustion is your major cooldown. This will cause each of your fire spell hits to increase your crit chance by 10%. Fire Mage Runes. Make sure to have these runes to maximize damage output. Burnout, Living Bomb, Living Flame, Hot Streak, Spell Power, Fire Mage Rotation. Example: start by casting Pyroblast on the boss a few seconds before the pull. Follow up with Living Flame. Cast Living Bomb. Begin casting Scorch 5 times. Then use this macro as shown on the screen. Explanation of the macro. This macro includes several key components. Berserking. If you're playing as a troll, Berserking racial ability is triggered next, providing a boost to your casting speed. Mana Gem. The macro starts with activating a Mana Gem, which replenishes your mana reserves. Combustion. Following Berserking, the macro activates Combustion, which is a high damage ability. Epic Head Cooldown, reducing mana cost of all spells by 50% and increasing spell power by 50, which is amazing to use in this macro. Fireball. You continue casting Fireball until Combustion runs out, usually after 7 or 8 hits. Scorch. Once Combustion expires, you revert to using Scorch. Scorch is typically used as a filler spell when Combustion is on cooldown. Overall, this macro optimizes your rotation by utilizing various buffs and spells effectively to maximize damage output while managing resources such as mana. Fire Stat Priority. Spell Hit, 5%. Intellect, Spell Power, Crit Spirit, Stamina. Best race to play Mage. The best race for playing a Mage in the Horde faction is often considered to be Troll. This preference is primarily due to the racial ability called Berserking, which reduces casting time. The race for playing a Mage in the Alliance faction is often regarded as Gnome. This is primarily due to their racial ability, which increases intellect by 5%. Consumables. The following list of consumables can be used by DPS Mage. Lesser Wizard Oil. Lesser Arcane Elixir, Elixir of Firepower. Sagefish Delight, Greater Mana Potion. Note: you can have Lesser Arcane Elixir and Lesser Wizard Oil active at the same time, since you apply Lesser Wizard Oil to your weapon. Enchanting. Back Enchant. Permanently enchant a cloak to give 3 to all resistances. Chest Enchant. Permanently enchant a piece of chest armor to grant +2 to all stats. Bracers. Enchant. Permanently enchants bracers to give +5 intellect. Gloves Thick Armor Kit. Legs Thick Armor Kit. Feet. Enchant. Permanently enchant boots to give a slight movement speed increase. Weapon Enchant. Permanently enchant a weapon to cause all spells and attacks to sometimes deal 60 to 90 additional damage to mechanical creatures. If you've made it this far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Your support goes a long way in helping me build the channel. I'll be posting more content and future releases of patches, so stay tuned. Best professions for Mage. Tailoring. Tailoring is mandatory as it allows you to craft the extremely powerful helm that has a ton of spell power and stats, but also a strong on use that gives you 50 spell power for 12 seconds on a 10-minute cooldown. You must be tailoring in order to craft this, and it's highly suggested that you try and get this item as soon as possible. Enchanting. Enchanting is the highest DPS option for your second profession. This allows you to use Sigil of Innovation, which gives you 20 spell power for 30 minutes. Alchemy. Alchemy allows you to make and use the new mildly irradiated rejuvenation potion, which gives you 35 spell power for 20 seconds. Engineering. Engineering in this phase allows you to use solid dynamite, which is a quick cast that you can move while casting to do a decent amount of damage. This is nice for both single target and AoE damage. As an engineer, you can craft a Hyperconductive Goldwrap, which is best in slot this phase and maybe next phase. Gearing up your mage. As mentioned above, I suggest you go with engineering and tailoring to craft your best in slot items. Along the way, you can craft some green gear with your tailoring profession to get started with your gearing route. In addition, you should participate in the STV PvP event to obtain the ring, as it is your bias for this phase. You can also complete the mage quest for the wand and offhand, which are also good upgrades. While leveling, you can do a Black Fathom Deeps run to acquire some gear from there, which also helps to prepare for Gnomeregan. Extra tips. Always have these in your bag. Superior Healing Potion. This is helpful for emergencies when you need the instant health. Mighty Troll's Blood Potion. Health regeneration is always good to help the healers out a little bit. Elixir of Fortitude. Additional health pool makes you much able to take more hits. Scroll of Arcane Accuracy. This gives you 1% chance to hit with all your spells. Use it in every raid. Spark of Inspiration. World buff drops in Orgrimmar, Ironforge. That is it, folks. Thank you for watching and have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will post my weak auras and add-ons in the description. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. See you soon.